Dan, can I get you to lock the door? If Carrie comes in, do you mind getting it for her? I just don't want us to be interrupted. I do, now that it's, yeah, I do if I get here really early, and then I unlock it about 10, 15 minutes before people start coming in. So take a good seat and settle. And do the scan, first the physical scan. How is the physical body feeling? How does the breath move through the body? What are the aches, the feel goods? Just check it, not with judgment, just witnessing, just noticing. And then sort of what happens then is we start to notice the energy body, or the what's called the subtle body in yoga. That's your energy level, your emotional level. Just where are you at this moment? And noticing, like the weather on Sherry's beach there on Sunday, she was outside on the balcony with the ocean behind her and desks in Florida. It was gorgeous. Now there's a front coming in. It's gray and rainy. And it's the same thing with our body, our physical and subtle body, the gross and the subtle body. It changes. So we just notice it. And then noticing, taking that little inventory, set your intention for your practice this morning. And again, the intention can be a feeling for which you cannot find words. So you don't need to grasp or manufacture some lofty intention. I want to save the world. Let me bring world peace. Yeah, you did. Dan did it last night, so he's checked that off his list. It can be very simple, very close to earth. My favorite is, my intention is not to fall off the mat. And that is an intention about steadiness, about being aware, taking care of yourself. It's a big one. And draw your palms together in front of your heart center. Inhale, exhale, cleansing breath. Inhale to Om. Release your hands, flutter your eyes open. Stretch your legs out. And work your hands with the ball or by massaging. And Shelly, it works better if it's either on a blanket or on the mat. On the floor, it'll scoot out from under you. And here we have Chewy. Hey, bud. What's up? What's up? What's up? You work? Oh, sorry. Did I roll over you? I'm sorry. Don't get in the way of my spiky ball. Yes. Oh, you want my spiky ball. I get it. Change sides if you want, back and forth. Real. And then let's do this one where we haven't done it in a while, where you find this little spot. So here's the collarbone. It's below the collarbone, not on the breast tissue, not almost to the armpit crease here, just below the collarbone, and start to press. And I like to use both hands. Sometimes it helps to push in and just roll underneath the collarbone. Don't do it on bone, that will hurt. And then maybe towards the center and out. It's a little triangle there that can be very tender. You press as hard as you can. Ow, really tender. And release, just notice the difference. The shoulder already releases just by releasing the fascia on the front there. And then change sides and work that little armpit chest triangle, digging in deeply. You can also do this with your fingers if the ball's not working, just by digging in. It's a very tender spot, yes? Chew's getting his armpit chest rubbed now, right now. Oh, ow, all right, release. Shake off. Swing around, come to hands and knees. And begin to cat-cow yourself here. Oh, boy, spending so much time resting. By yesterday, my back was killing me. I just had not been doing enough movement. So I went to my daughter's pool and did some sort of pool aerobics. And that helped a lot to get the gravity off of me a bit and to stretch it out. I'm still stiff. Make it bigger if you wish, going back and forth. You can go side to side. You know, do what makes you happy. And then next time through center, pause. Walk your knees about handprint distance behind your hips and your hands about a handprint distance in front of your shoulders. Then reach your elbows way out so your hips come forward of your knees. Press your forearms into the earth. Hug an imaginary block between your elbows. Keep that into the forearms to move your hips back over your knees. The forehead will come to the floor between or behind the elbows. And then zip your xiphoid. So lengthen the tailbone and pull the xiphoid, the bottom tip of the sternum, towards the tailbone. Big upper back opener here and strengthener. So you're not flopping the arms. The arms are really working, pressing into the earth and hugging towards each other. Inhale your way back up. Tuck your toes. Sit back on the toes if that's doable. Otherwise, pass that. Do a quick calf smash. We did this Sunday. Well groaned. All right, so you untuck the toes, and I recommend kneeling on a blanket, or Shelley, you've got a nice soft mat. Put the blanket roll right behind the knees and then sit back on it to massage. If your knees do that, Shelley, don't do it. Do some more cat-cows. And then rock back and forth to massage out the calves and the back of the hamstrings, breaking up the fascia. I remember for a while there, a couple of years ago, little Mia, she was 13 at the time, and she came like for about a year and a half all the time. And I would talk about breaking up fascia. She would say, she was schooled, and she said, so is fascia a bad thing? Why do we want breaking it? So I explained to her, we want to break up the congestion, up fascia, to be precise. All right, hands and knees.
and then come into an easy dog. You can also do a dog on the chair or the wall and walk your dog a little bit, pedal it out. Oh my gosh, sat down feels so much better now. Sunday, I could not literally stomach putting my head below my heart. Nice moving dog. Then walk your hands back towards your feet, forward bend at the back of the mat. Oh my gosh. Do a little bend, straighten. You can do half forward bend. A little bend, little straighten, little bend, little straighten. Or Shelley, you can always turn around and do it this way, which was nice to do it on the wall. Working with some injury and chronic pain. And we're all working with old bodies. We love our old bodies. Look at us moving around. Hands on hips, shoulders lift the head of the bones, and then use the legs, press down through the legs to hinge from the hips. Rise up and release. Interlace the hands behind the back and open. Oh. Just lift the arms, body's not tilting forward. And notice the tendency to pop the low ribs out. You're pulling the ribs back, but you're trying to stretch the top. You can't stretch a bone, but pretend you can. The sternum moves down, the manubrium, the top of the sternum moves up. So you're trying to pull those points apart as you lift the arms behind you. And release. Work your feet. I know, right? Just feels good, doesn't it? I love that. Ah. Yeah. I'm just very tight across here right now. Oh. Torture, start to press if Chewy will let you have it. Chewy has a nice new dog bed, a Martha Stewart dog bed. How cool. He could fit about 3 of him on bed though, couldn't he? Unless he's in his long stretch sleep. And rinse and play and flowing the bottom feet. Change sides. So Sherry, I'm surprised your grandkids aren't joining you for yoga.
They are holding off to come
Mine,
down
well, the girl still likes it.
Wednesday or Thursday till the rain goes away.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, of course, because you don't want a house of screaming kids, that's for sure. But I was thinking. Oh. Work all the spots on the foot. And when you feel like you've done it evenly, pass it on. All right, so for Shelley's benefit, I'm just going to show you this. You guys don't have to use a chair for this. But Shelley, if you'll put the chair on this, yeah, that. There you go. Yeah, that'll be good. And then when we go back, I would actually say turn it so the seat is forward. And Dan, you can do it with or with the, but I'm gonna show the chair for Shelley, but we're doing great sun salutation, Sherry and Allison, but I'll do chair and then you guys can keep with the chair. We'll do it slowly. So you stand like at the top of your mat, take a breath, connect to the 4 corners of the feet and draw energy up to the core of the pelvis. Upper inner thighs go in, back, and apart as the tailbone goes down. That strengthens the lower body and the legs. From there, rise up. Exhale, bow forward. So you can do a full forward bend,
or you can do a half forward bend here. Soften your knees, Shelley, so you can lengthen the spine. Yeah, there, nice, very nice. And then step back. So you'll step your right leg back. The left foot is kind of up under the chair a bit. Move your left foot forward there. You can hold on to the seat or the back of the chair. There you go. And step your back foot back more. So on the floor, you're in regular lunge, scissor the legs. Oh. And then from here, straighten, bend, bend, straighten. Trying to keep the back as long, not rounding. Especially pull the shoulder, snuggle them on the back so that it's not dropping shoulders below the heart. And if you're working on the floor, work to your balance. So you're playing look mano hands anywhere in between. You're still getting a nice workout. Oh. And the next time you come into lunge, step forward either into a standing split if you're on the floor, but if you're on the chair, just lift the leg and the hands press on the chair. The back is long. Stretch the heart forward so you're still stretching the sternum. Xiphoid moves towards the tailbone. The manubrium top of the sternum moves up towards your chin. And then bring the right leg in for landing. Hands on your hips. Press down, hinge from the hips, rise up. Oh, release. Okay, side B. If you're doing it on the chair, your toes kind of disappear under the edge of the chair. If you look down, or they're just right on the edge. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, prepare. Step your left leg back, straight leg lunge. You're on the chair, hold here, or you can hold here, but you've got to press down. It's too easy to push the chair over here. And then, or regular on the floor, and then bend, straighten, straighten, bend. Practice your balance if you're working on the floor. Otherwise, hold on to the chair. And notice the tendency, if you're practicing your balance, to roll to the outside edge of the front foot. So really tack the inner edge down. Woo. And inhale, come into either standing splits, the hands forward, a version of warrior three, kind of like bird dog, but regular lifting. Pull the leg in for a landing, press down, hinge from the hips, and rise up. Release. All right. Again, this time we'll add a plank pose. So if you're doing it regular without the chair, you'll just add the plank pose as we normally do. But in the chair, inhale, rise up. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, prepare. Step your right leg back, straight leg lunge. And then with the hands on either side, pressing down firmly on the chair, step into a plank pose. Soften between your shoulder blades. Lower us a little bit, Shelley. Oh, yeah. And a little bend, little straighten, little bend. And the elbows go back, not so much out. Elbows go back towards the hips so that you stay more lined up. Xiphoid to tailbone connection, still lifting the collarbones. Oh, who thought this up? And then go to downward facing dog or chair dog. So chair dog is where you're pressing the hands down into the seat of the chair and you're stretching back. Nice. Bend your knees as much as you need to. And then step your right foot forward, straight leg lunge. And then step forward all the way. Inhale, rise up. And release. Shake off. All right. So the chair sun salutation, not so wimpy, right? All right, just checking, make sure you're getting your fair share. All right, salutation 3. We'll add I'll demonstrate it. On the chair, you'll add plank, and then we'll do a little, it's like a cobra on the chair. Just don't let the hips collapse, but you don't want them up either. It's like you're pulling your heart through. On the floor, it means to come through plank. You can lower the knees down and pull into a cobra, a regular cobra. All right, let's go. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, prepare, step your left leg back, straight leg lunge. Step back, plank pose. Do a couple of little mini push-ups, just an inch down, and elbows move back, not out to the side. So that means you might not go far. And then pull up into a cobra. If you're on the floor, just lower all the way down and come into a cobra, pull the elbows back, and then downward facing dog. If your hands are on the chair, the hands are pushing down a lot. So not so much holding on to the side, but spread the hands and push the hands down. You'll feel that all the way into the shoulders. So Dan, place your hands on the seat of the chair. Now push down. Yeah, do you feel the push? Yeah, you just lengthened your back when you did that. It looks really good. Nice. All right. And then right foot forward, straight leg lunge. Step both feet forward. Forward bend, half forward bend, or on the chair. Hands on the hips. Use the legs. Press down as you rise up. And release. So, oops. For the chair, you'll turn your chair to facing me, but this way on the back. Otherwise, we'll do some standing poses, the regular parts of Konasana. Part of the legs are, front feet are on the chair, on the mat, but not the others. There you go. All right, take a wide stance in front of the chair. So shall leave your chair more midway down so you have a little room on the front to stand, you're not off. Wide stance. Turn your left toes out. So for those of you on the chair, you'll back up enough that when you bend, you can put your thigh on the chair. The back foot is turned in and you've got the whole foot on the floor. So turn it, yeah, you've got to turn it in as best you can, Dan, if your ankle will do that. There you go. Work to the outer edge. If you're look mono chair, you're here, right? So Shelley, sit your left. Yeah, you've got to move your left foot back a bit more. Yeah, first sit, there you go. There you go. Now, and you can turn the back foot all the way in or place it down, whatever you want. All right, stretch the arms up, a warrior two pose. Straighten the back leg as best you can, and then scissor the legs as though you're lifting off the chair. You do not need to lift off the chair, but engage the muscles that it would take to lift off the chair. Reverse your warrior. So if you're not using the chair, it's just regular warrior two and reverse warrior. But scissor legs on the chair, try to lift some percentage of your weight off the chair, just so you work. Now breathe. Do not forget that. And exhale, release. So if you're standing, if you're sitting, just turn and face forward. If you're standing, do a wide angle forward bend. Oh, that feels good. Hands on your hips, come up. Now turn your right toes out. If you're sitting, turn the right toes out, then the back foot down. If you're sitting, scissor the legs. So Dan, if you can, best you can, work to the outside edge of your foot. So your outside, yeah. The outside edge tends to want to roll up. Yeah, you feel that all the way down the leg. And then if you pull your front foot back so it's under your knee, you'll have more stability. You're getting, because you're tight there, right there. Yeah, yeah. Are in. If you're not on the chair, you're just in regular warrior two, the arms at shoulder height, palms down.
Then turn the front palm up and reverse it into warrior two reversed. Nice big side stretch. So keep working to the outside edge of your back foot, Dan. Don't let it go. Straighten the back. Yeah, make it work. Nice. Nice. Come to sit. And here, widen the legs. As long if you're not sitting, it's just a nice wide-legged forward bend. The feet are parallel. If you're in the chair, the toes turn out a bit. You walk it out and you stretch forward. You might have blocks here. Otherwise, you're just in a nice wide-legged forward bend. Oh. Tell you, after laying off better part of 5 days, this feels great. All right, inhale your way back up. And if you've been standing, step your feet together. If you're sitting on the chair, just stay there for a minute. We just can't stay in a standing wide-legged stand for that long. Step it back out. And turn your left toes out, right toes in. And if you're sitting on the chair, the left thigh is on the chair. And the more you back up to get the whole left thigh on the chair, the easier it is. If you're in the middle, the chair kind of pushes the back leg forward a bit. And then come into Parsvakasana side angle. The left elbow's on the left thigh. So again, straighten the back leg as best you can, Dan, working to the outer edge. And the more you turn, yeah, press in. Now scissor the legs. And if you're on the chair, so Shelley, bring this foot underneath the knee. Will the knee do that? There you go. All right. And then if you're on the chair, work to take some of your weight off the chair, even if it's a little bit more than you had, like have that intention. If you're doing regular Lukmano chair, Parsvakasana, take some weight off your elbow, scissor in. Top shoulder stacks on the, so your right shoulder stacks on top of your left. The top and bottom of the ears move back, so the head's not dropping forward. Chin's not lifting. The hyoid bone moves back. So drop your chin a tiny bit, Dan, and move your upper back. There, nice. Top arm swings up and over. And then maybe, yay, scissor in. If you're on the chair, try to take a tiny bit more weight off the chair and release. If you're on the, without the chair, turn forward. Otherwise, just shift around on the chair. Hands on your hips. Inhale, come up. Step together. Stay on the chair if you're on there. All right, step it out. Right toes out. Your right thigh is on the chair. The back leg is strong. Wants to do something like this. You're working deeply to the, especially the back heel. And if you turn your back toe in a bit more, Shelley, yeah, it really rotates in. So your hips start to move a little more towards the short edge of the mat. Check your front knee that it's not rolling in, and bring your front foot back just a bit under the knee. There you go. So then, is it okay for the knee to bend that way? All right, come into Parsvakasana. Scissor the legs like crazy. Work your outer edge of your foot, Dan. Back foot, work it, work it. Oh, see that long leg? It just like, whoo, totally straightens. But there's a reason we don't do that. If you're on the chair, scissor the legs and try to take some of your weight. Even though you may have the majority of it on there, some of it's moving off. Otherwise, in regular Parsvakasana, take the weight off your right elbow. And then stretch your top arm, your left arm overhead, and spin the ribs and the heart up towards the ceiling. Oh. And release. Do a wide-legged forward bend, either on there or off the chair. And then hands on your hips. Inhale, come up. You can stay on the chair. Otherwise, we're stepping together. Shake it off. All right. So the standing seat sequence that you can do on the chair that helps you. So Shelley, you can do that anytime with any class. You just adapt the poses to the chair. Because well, we can do that. We can all bring out the wet noodles and whap you with them. All right. Okay, so Shelley, I'm going to have you do the seated poses twist on the chair. So the rest of you sit on the floor. You can always choose a chair, but the other one's on the floor. I will show both. All right, so on the floor, you'll have both legs straight, lifting up. On the chair, gives me more X to come up. Straighten the legs to the degree you can. Flex the feet, pull the baby toes back and forth, and then try to roll to the frontmost and innermost edge. Use the chair as you need to help you push up and lift. So if you take your hands back to the side, you see how that will help you pull yeah, much better. Nice. All right. So sitting then and lifted, bend the right knee. How close it comes to your bum is up to how your knee's feeling. Shelley, what you'll do is bend the right knee here. Yeah. So you'll do the same thing. Keep the upliftment. There you go. Beautiful. Really nice. It looks really good. All right. All right. So there's a couple options here. You can stay here. Shelley would have you stay here. You can have the straight leg, the left leg cross in front of you, the right over. So you're just crossing midline. But pull your straight leg more towards me, Dan. There you go. Lift into it. And then the opposite hand, if your right leg's on top, the left hand, and then you'll work around. So Shelley, yes, there you go. You just, and press, try to pull the knee across and the knee resist. So there's some resistance here. Then your back hand reaches for whatever it can, chair, floor, and begins to twist from the ribs. The head stays in line. So with the torso, with each inhale, lengthen from tailbone to crown, lengthen taller, Dan. There you go. Now twist your ribs towards me. There you go. You can walk this hand back, walk your right hand back. There you go. And then with each inhale, lengthen more. Nice, Shelley. Exhale, twist the ribs more. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. The head's the very last thing to turn. Once the upper body has turned as much as it's going to turn, keep the pull, the little play in the knee here. Then the head can just very elegantly, or tails back all the way into you. And inhale, back to center, legs. So Shelley, flex your feet as best you can. Yeah, and really push through the feet like you're pushing into it, and then you pull the energy up. So it's the push-pull. We have to keep both. And then bend the other knee, other leg straight. This is one way to go. The other way is to go across. And then the opposite hand reaches around, so you're pulling the knee before you turn at all. The knee pulling over. So if this is your left knee, it's pulling to the right. Foot's firmly on the ground, the bent leg foot. And then pull your belly and your ribs around the outer belly and the ribs around to the left as the low belly pulls back to the right. The left hand moves behind you, takes hold of the chair or the perches on the floor. And you just keep turning in, lengthen tailbone. So if you pass the lengthening step, if you just keep twisting in a collapsed state, then you won't, and it will not feel good. So the length comes first, then the twist. And the tailbone has to continually lengthen, and the low belly, inner low belly is pulling back to the right to protect the sacrum. Then at last minute, you either turn your eyeballs all the way to the left, or you can turn the head a little bit to the left, but no strain. So if you find yourself efforting or straining, if it feels good to turn the head, turn it. If it doesn't, keep it where it is and just turn the eyeballs. On your next inhale, come back to center. Oh,
straighten out. So on the floor, do a Baddha Konasana, where you're pulling out. Oh, feels good. So what this is giving us on the floor is a nice stretch in the inner thighs, and you lift up. On the, here, just go wide, and with your elbows, push the inner knees back. Push your inner knees back. They're rolling in, Shelley. Push them back. So your knees are doing this. You don't have to go farther down. Your knees are rolling in. So what you want to do, you can just sit up and take them back. There, take them back more. Take them back, especially the right one. Oh, now you feel anything in here? Okay, good. So you can kind of pulse that, hold hard each time, kind of and push in and inhale, tilt forward, because you're collapsing. You just want to keep working the knees back, knees back, knees back. Good. All right, Baddha Konasana here. So on the floor, spread the toes apart and lift the heel. So there's a tendency to take hold of the feet and pull them up this way. But see if you can lift your heels up. Keep pressing at least the inner edges of the feet together. Outer edges, not so much as you spread the toes. And then you tilt and you stretch forward. Oh my gosh, my hips are so tight. And release. All right. So slide on your back. Shelley, I think you can do this. Slide on your back with your feet to the wall. Move the chair out of, since you can get up and down off the floor. That works. All right. So you can all do this either with the wall, where your feet are on the wall, or we'll do baby cradle and happy baby. So Shelley, what you will do is you'll have the feet on the wall, and get your shoulder blades on the back, and you'll do this. And you'll push the upper inner thigh away. If you're not feeling anything in the hip, you keep bumping your hips closer to the wall. Without the wall, we're full service provider today. Just pick a leg, any leg, draw it up into a baby cradle where the hands are taking the outside of the shin and the elbow is wedging into your inner thigh, pushing it away, and the other hand's pulling a foot to the opposite shoulder. Get your low back curve wherever you are. So if you're on the floor, on the wall, you're still working for low back curve. If you're doing full baby cradle, if you're on the floor doing baby cradle, you can straighten the other leg. So this is essentially a hip flexor stretch. There's many roads to this nirvana. Using the wall, not using the wall. Oh gosh, oh gosh. And you breathe, give it some time if you're not. So you're feeling much. As I remind you often, it's not about pain, but the stretch is in your mind. I'm saying to myself, I need to do this more. If you're saying, crap, this hurts, I hate this, and I hate the teacher too, then you're back off, feel good, stretch. And then if you're on the wall, just straighten your legs up the wall just to get the bend out of them. You're on the floor, straighten the legs, stretch the arms, and just notice the difference between the two sides. And then change sides. Across the other ankle, across the knee, or if you're doing baby cradle, scoop it up, scoop that baby up, go into your inner thigh and pulls the opposite foot to the other foot to the opposite shoulder. Oh, recover your low back curve. Tilt your sits bones towards the floor, towards your heels. And give it some time to stretch. Oh. And then stretch out. On the floor, if your knees will allow, so Shelley, I think you just do number 4 again on both sides. Okay. Otherwise, do the tight cross and you'll do right the floor. So you take your hands to the top of the knees, the heel to the hips, slide your hands down your legs towards your ankles, flex your feet. So you're here, slide your hands, you've got all the way toward your ankles. Okay. Flex your feet. Now, as you squeeze together, move the knees away from the chest so you can snuggle your shoulder blades underneath you and get a low back curve. Flex the feet and then press the shins into the hands, like lift the shins up, either energetically or actually, not past parallel to the floor. Pull the feet towards the shoulders, but the knees away from the chest to keep the low back curve. Feeling this one? I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. Oh, relax the shoulders as best you can. Relax your jaw. Release your hands. Keep the legs the way they are. So whatever leg is on top, you're going the opposite direction. So Shelley, we're just doing a twist here so you can drop your knees, like put both knees on the wall and then drop the knees and the feet all the way to one side. Arms in T position. Yeah, just twist. Yeah, just so in this position, in this case, my left knee is on top. I'm dropping the legs to the right. So if your right knee is on top, drop your legs to the left. No, come towards me, Dan. Go to the left. But keep the knees as close towards the arm, towards the shoulder as you can. One of the feet may come to the floor. You go into one of your feet comes. There you go. Your hips come up. Your hips have to come up. Let the feet rest on the floor. Don't hang in space. There you go. Squeeze the knees together and take the inner thighs back, stick your butt way back, the direction your knees are not going, and spin your heart away from the direction the knees are going. Oh. Inhale, come up, off. Cross the other leg on top for ride your Harley here. Heels drop down, the knees are not that close to the chest. They're close enough to where your hands can touch on the top of the knees. Slide them down the shins. Now flex the feet. Snuggle your shoulder blades underneath you. Pull the ankles towards you, the ability to snuggle your shoulders underneath you. The knees come away from the chest as the shins lift. Press the shins and keep pulling the head of the arm bones back towards the floor. Keep a low back curve. Oh. Keep pulling the feet towards the shoulders. Squeeze the knees together. Ah, oh, yes. And breathe. Release the hands, the legs stay the same, arms come out in a T position, drop the legs to the other side. So one foot will probably come to the floor, the hips peel off the floor, keep dropping them over until your hips come off the floor. Down. Drop, go, 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 until the foot touches the floor. There you go. So your hips are actually stacked almost on top of each other. But both shoulder blades. Squeeze the knees gently together and move the bum back, like you're trying to stick your butt back behind you, which would be the direction that your head are turning. And enjoy the twist. Inhale back up to center. Stretch out. That's for a good stretch. Bend your knees. Have your block near you, hopefully. Arms in robot, push down into your elbows to lift your shoulder blades a little bit off the floor so you can snuggle them in towards each other, then tack the head of your arm bones down. Press into your feet, lift your hips, and slide the block either low or medium under your sacrum. And then robot the arms again, bend the elbows and snuggle your shoulder blades underneath you. And the arms can relax. Keep lifted, and then the slightly away from, not too much. The sternum says, wait, 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 and it moves more towards the chin, and the chin pulls a little bit away from the sternum, and the sternum moves more towards the chin. You notice how you're increasing the upper back bend when you do that. And then maybe you can snuggle your shoulder blades underneath you, roll the shoulders underneath you even more. Keep doing that little hide and seek with the sternum trying to find the chin and the chin moving just a tiny bit farther away. And then you enjoy the inversion. Shelley, if you're on the wall there, you can even put your feet on the wall if it's comfortable, or keep them where they are. So if you're near a chair or a wall, you can just hike your feet on top of a chair or on the wall. If you want to do a supported shoulder stand, don't let the chest fall. Once the chest falls, you've lost the point. It's about keeping the sternum moving towards the chin and the chin playing hard to get. If you're on the block, you can try straightening the legs, flexing the feet, baby toe side coming back towards your hips. You're not tickling the feet for an extension bridge. Only if that feels good. You have to keep the tailbone long and extending toward the heels. Inhale, bend knees. Lift your hips off the block. Come in and hug your knees into your chest. It's comfortable, bring your nose towards your knees. Otherwise, don't strain the neck. And then release. So do at least a few moments of supported fish. You may want to stay there the whole Shavasana. It's my favorite morning Shavasana. But I'll give you a sign that if you want to roll off the fish and come just to lie flat on your back, you can push your chair away so it's not crowding you quite so much. This edge goes right into the center between the shoulder blades, right here. That place I keep wanting to nice itch. Hey, Chew. What's up, buddy? Can you fist bump? I taught my cat to fist bump. Fist bump? Fist bump? All right. Come into a supported fish. So the block under your head, for most of us, will be more comfortable at its highest aspect. If you're reaching a little deeper back bend, you can bring it down level with the block under the chest. But if the chin starts to head off away from you too much, again, you're doing the same thing. Either knees bent or legs long, but if the legs are long, they're working, you're pressing the upper inner thighs towards the floor back of the thighs moving towards the floor, and the feet are engaged a bit. Once you move into full Shavasana, you can relax that. But in the beginning, work the legs a bit. And the sternum is still moving towards the chin, and the chin's moving a little away from the sternum. Arms are relaxed, shoulders just give in to the pull of gravity. So we'll do this as an active fish pose, and then if you want to stay here for final relaxation, you'll just relax the legs a little bit more. There's a passive chest opener, a passive back bend. Everything's supported. We're not straining anything, but it helps to open the front of the body. And then you can roll off and lie flat for final relaxation, or stay here. Especially good in the morning if you'll be sitting or hunched over a computer or doing anything where you're rounding over. Begin to deepen your breath. Inviting movement starting in the fingers and the toes, hands, feet, stretching your arms and legs. If you're still up on the blocks, slowly draw your knees in and roll to your side. And if you're in regular Shavasana, take a little bit longer and then roll to your side. And rest there for a few moments because you were in an extended back bend. So we want to do an extended rounding or forward fold. So let the back breathe. Rolling a little more towards the floor, use the strength of your arms to press yourself up into a seated position. Sit well any way that works for you. And just scan your body, mind, spirit, the physical body, the energy body, and how that all comes into your spirit. I know I feel better. Draw your palms together in front of the heart center. Namaste. Thank you guys so much. Make me practice. It feels great to feel good again. All right, Sherry, enjoy your nice rainy day. Call cups of tea and couch sitting and gazing at the beautiful, I love the skies though when they just, and it looks like you've got a great view to just look at it. So see you guys.
Crash of the waves. So, see ya.
The waves, I know, I love it. It's in Costa Rica, we just got this oceanfront waves, we just pound, you know, it's great. All right, good morning, Allison, wake up. Hi guys, thank you so much.